Today is a special day because it is the 1 year anniversary of our daily vlog, which means I've been doing this daily vlog for 365 days without skipping a day, which to me is actually a pretty incredible feat. I didn't even know that I was going to be able to keep up with the entire year, but here we are on day 365. And I know some of you guys have been watching from day one, so I really appreciate that. You guys are awesome, whoever stuck around from the beginning. And I still remember the day that I started the vlog. We were in an Airbnb and our van hit a deer and we were just waiting for the repairs, and we were in Billings, Montana with not much to do, and I decided let's just start the daily vlog because I have some pretty cool adventures that I want to share with you guys with our van travels. And the reason why I want to start the daily vlogs is so that when Spencer grows up or when he have kids, they can watch these videos and know how their parents or grandparents lived, and our thoughts, all that stuff documented, travels, fun, boring, mundane stuff, all here in video form, which is actually pretty awesome. It also allows me to practice being a little bit more creative and express my creativity by making some mundane days into interesting content for you guys to watch. And I think I do a pretty decent job now. But with the arrival of the new baby, I am going to be making some changes to this channel. Mainly because I don't know the contents with the new baby is going to be deemed worthy for the public to watch, especially things that are a little bit more intimate behind the scenes. And so I decided that I'm going to start a membership for sharing some of the content that I will not want to share to the public space. So what that's going to entail is the membership is going to have some of the content that we currently shoot the daily vlogs, and I will be including a lot of the raw and behind the scene footage in those content, and there will still be the daily vlogs on the members only. And then on the public, I'm thinking we're going to be releasing 2 to 3 videos per week. Things that are more curated, sort of like these videos. I mean, these videos that you're watching now are curated to be as entertaining as possible, and I cut out a lot of the fluff just because of how the YouTube algorithm works. And I know a lot of you guys watch our channel and our family, and you want all the juicy, raw stuff too, and that's where the membership is made for. It's for videos that I don't deem is worthy for the public, but is stuff that I want to make and keep for the family stuff, right? So Spencer can watch and the new baby can watch. And so that's going to be the members only type content, exclusive behind the scene type footage of us playing, us just kind of getting into the weeds of the day-to-day stuff. And then the public will be just more the curated stuff that are whatever I deem is worthy for the public. And so that's going to be the change for this channel. I don't know if you guys are going to want to join. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. I'm still going to be making content, and it's just going to be a little bit less of it. And then if you do want to join the membership, there's going to be more juicier content here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And with the membership, I am going to start a new Facebook community group for like-minded individuals like you guys who are still watching up to this day throughout my mundane and boring van build to join. And that's going to allow like-minded people to come together and just gather as a town hall and share ideas, share different perspectives. I know if you're still watching now, you share the same value as us as a family. So I really want that community to come together and just have good vibes and just a place to meet other people who are also in this channel. I mean, this group isn't really necessarily going to be about us, but we'll be there obviously. But it's going to be for everybody to talk with each other. I think that's going to be a really cool place as a hangout spot. And so if you're watching this video now, the membership is live. So you'll be able to join the membership. There's going to be 2 levels of membership. One is going to be the friends and family, and one's going to be the inner circle. They're both the same. It's just the inner circle will just mean you guys want to support us more. And so thank you in advance if you do want to become members of this channel. And if you are members of this channel, it's going to directly support us as a family. So thanks again. And with the members only side, we can even do some live calls together. I know I haven't done any live calls in this channel at all. I can even start like a Zoom call once in a while and just be able to meet some of you guys rather than just me talking with you guys or talking at you guys. We can talk to each other. I think that would be really fun. And you guys can get to ask questions and learn a little bit more about us from a perspective that you don't really get from the public end. And so consider becoming members of this channel. It's going to be supportive for us and it's going to be so awesome. And that's all I'm going to say about this. Things can change and we can adjust how it works out for everybody, but that's what I want to share with you guys. So thanks again for being audiences of this channel. I really appreciate you guys. And with that, let's continue working on the van. And on the public channel, I'm going to share with you guys later on what the schedule is for videos and publishing and all that. So once I know and finalize, I will let you guys know. Let me show you what I worked on yesterday, last night after dinner. I came back down here. I did a lot. I added a lot of things to the plumbing system, and I don't know where I left off last time. Oh, last time I left off with the accumulator tank, and I made a bunch of new connections here. So let me tell you what this looks like. So you have the bar fitting that changes over into the PEX fitting using this little adapter piece. It goes into PEX tubing. This white tube is PEX. This is a one-way check valve, so no water can flow backwards towards this direction. It only goes one way, and it goes into a 90-degree, and it splits off into two sides. The water either goes into the hot water tank, which is this white one here, or it goes up top and it goes into the faucet as cold water. So that's where it branches off. And on this side is the city water connection inlet. So you see this hole down here? I'm going to have a water inlet adapter on the exterior of the van on the other side, which is going to come up from here. It's going to go into here, and there's two ways that water can flow. It can either flow upwards into the freshwater tank to fill up the water and have a switch here, or it can go down this way through here and bypass the pump and go straight into either the cold water or the hot water for basically unlimited water when we're hooked up to, say, a campground or anywhere that has a water source. And there's also a check valve here, so water is not going to flow backwards into the system. And this valve right here allows me to turn on and off the city connection. With this off, then the water is going to be forced to travel this way and create the unlimited water situation. With this on, the water is going to flow into the water tank, and this is going to fill our water tank. So for the most part, this is going to be on unless I want unlimited city connection, which is when I turn off that off switch. And I have a few missing connectors here, missing PEX pipe. I do have the blue tubing, but because I've been using the white tubing here to make these connections, I ran out of the white one. So I'm actually going to make a Home Depot run to complete this section here. I didn't want to add the blue tube here and just mess up with the look of it. So I'm missing one here. This one can be blue, and then this one is going to be red because this one is hot water coming out. So just like another small piece, I'll be able to finish this section here. And I think it came out pretty good. It's pretty clean. The connectors are super tight next to each other though. Like right here, there's PEX tubing in between. You just can't see it because of how tight this space is. I needed to fit everything as compact as possible. And so, yeah, it's kind of like this, but just even smaller. But I think it came out pretty good. And then also here, I need enough space so that I can run the heating tube that's going to be feeding up into the vent, which I'm thinking it's going to come out here, the hot air for the van. So tight spot, but I made it work. So I'm going to make a quick Home Depot run. I also need to pick up some milk and yogurt for Rena and Spencer. So I will continue work on the van in a few.
Would you like an e-receipt?
So the goal for today is to finish with plumbing. Now that I got the PEX pipe, I think we should be able to get done with this by the end of today. Let's try. Before making this next connection, I need to make sure I know where I'm going to be putting the RV City water inlet. This is the one that I got. It's by a company called Aqua. This is a rather expensive inlet. This one right here in this box is $90. But what I like about it is it has this quick disconnect or quick connect connection. And it looks like this. So you got this piece right here as the inlet. And this is what's going to get connected to the hose. And with the quick connect, you just put it in and you twist. And there you have it. It's really this simple. So this is going to get installed somewhere outside. I have a good idea, but I don't know exactly where yet. But let's try to find the spot for it so I know how to run the rest of this tubing to this end of it. I wanted to install this in a location that is the most discreet as possible. At the end of the day, this is fresh water inlet. Obviously, no one can really tamper with this because you need that disconnect adapter in order for any water to go in. But I'm thinking it would go somewhere in the back here on this rear bumper. Maybe over here. I think it will fit. And the tube will go right across, and then it will go back up into that hole that's in that corner there. So I think this is going to be a good location for it. I'll drill a hole right through here. And I realize I don't have the fitting to connect this into the rest of the PEX system, the push to connect type PEX system, which means I'm going to have to make another Lowe's or Home Depot run just to get this thing to fit in there. So a lot of Home Depot runs for this plumbing setup here. And I kind of want to install the inlet on the same side as the power, somewhere on this side, because most campgrounds, when you're putting in all the hookups, everything is on the left side. So water will be here, power will be here, and everything will be connected to the same side. And if I install the water inlet on the other side, I have to run the hose all the way through the other side, which is not the most ideal. But the problem that I'll run into by installing on this side, I can install on this side, is that there's going to be a fairly long run underneath the van back up into the water compartment. And the problem with that is during the winter time, I'm afraid the exposed piping underneath the van is going to freeze. So it's not the most ideal to have any tubing outside of the van. I mean, if I were to do it on the other side, there's only going to be a really short run. And I'm also going to add a drainage. So any water that's in the tubing will be let out prior to it freezing or anything. So that will solve that. But I'm considering doing it on this side, maybe adding a longer drainage or something, just so there's no water in the PEX pipes. And if I need to fill it up, it will still work. So those are the two places I'm considering, either on this side or on the other side. So let's see what I end up doing. Let me just make another Lowe's run. I gotta get this plumbing finished. I'll be right back. I got some of the fittings that I need to complete the plumbing, but not all of it. I ordered 2 more pieces for sort of the drainage for the low point for winterization and whatnot on Amazon, so that's going to come tomorrow. And I bought this plate. I'm going to try to mount it outside. So I'm going to drill a hole through here, and I will do it like this on the other side, but I think this is a better way to mount it rather than putting it on the bumper itself. So I'll try that out. I'll see what else I can do with the plumbing, and then after I'm done with this, I will go back to the electrical, finish that up, and see if we can turn on the power. I'm going to put a pause on the plumbing side until the rest of the fittings come. It's kind of been like this where I'm missing something, I got to order, I got to wait a day or two before the part comes, and I can't finish it until those parts come. So electrical, we did get a few of the parts that we're waiting for. So let's jump back over to the electrical. I'm going to hook up the shore power line to the inverter, add 1 or 2 more of the breakers, and the fuse for the 12 volt, and I think this is pretty much done. So let me work on that real quick. This was the wire that I ran the other day, and it's gonna go in through here. And let's get this connected. Wrong port should be on this one. There's AC in. I think I double checked. Okay, we got the line, ground, and neutral. Let's lock it in. Let me tie these cables and attach them to the wall, so there's not going to be any pull on them. And I realized that I put the 120 volt fuse box in the wrong outlet. I put AC out 2, which means it's only powered when there's shore power, which is not what I want, because I want our stuff to be powered by our batteries and or shore power. So I'm switching it over to AC out 1, which is just the one to the left of it. I gotta double check all my work before I turn anything on, because I don't want any problems with the system wiring it wrong. But this one, good thing I caught. Yeah, AC out 2 is like for loads that you only want to be on when you're plugged in, which none of our stuff is like that. Let's close this up. I think we're done. Let me wire up the rest of these breakers, fuses, and power cables, and I think we should be able to turn on the power today to try things out. These ring terminals that I have for the 12 gauge wire, this is what I'm using. 12 gauge wires for the DC to DC charger on 48 volt. This is what I like about the 48 volt stuff, is you can use much thinner wires because there's not a lot of ampage going through. Only 8 amps, which is like 380 watts. But these terminals are a little bit too small for this lug here, so I'm gonna drill, make it a little bit bigger. This is just a little bit too small to fit into the links distributor. Last wire that I need to attach is the water level gauge. The Servo GX has an ability to check the level that I installed yesterday, the day before, on the water level. It tells us how much fresh water we have in our tank, and we can see it from the monitor. So let's connect these two, and pretty much all the connections for these blue boxes are complete. Tidy up this area since most of the wires are already where it's supposed to be, with the exception of the air conditioner, and that's going to go into this port right here, but everything else is hooked up, so we're almost ready to go. It is time for the fun part, and that is connecting all the batteries together in parallel. And before I do that, I am going to wear some high voltage gloves because we're working with a 48 volt system, and safety first, right? And before connecting them together, there's something that I need to do real quick, and that is to check on their voltage. Now, these are already fully charged and has been sitting for a couple of weeks now. And we want the resting voltage to be pretty much the same when we're connecting them. Otherwise, there will be sparks, and the voltage of the cells in each battery will be imbalanced because not the right voltage. So let's see what they are right now. I got the multimeter here. Let's put it right here. Start with this one. 53.12. 53.12. Okay, try this one. 53.212. Perfect. 53.212. Okay, all the voltage are exactly the same, which means I can connect them together now in parallel, which means the positive will go to the positive and the negative will go to the negative. And a couple of days ago, I already cut all the wires that I need to connect them together. So let me find the right ones, and we will make the connection. First, clean the lugs on the wires. And it's super important not to accidentally touch the positive to the negative, otherwise it wouldn't be a good thing. Okay, and then after that we are connecting. What are we connecting? What do I say? I forgot what I was gonna do. Which was gonna be a shorter run? Oh, this one to here and then this one down, or this one to here and then this one down. Okay, so this one I can close up. No, this one to this one and then this one down. Yes, I think that's the proper run. Okay, and this one I can close up, but this one is gonna be this longer one, right into the isolator, which I have to make a bigger hole for. Let's do that first. Okay. It is starting to get quite dark, so I will try to get this thing done as quickly as I can. So this is gonna go to the bottom end of it. Okay, and that's gonna go right here. We will connect the isolator. I'm gonna switch this over because I want to do it bottom up like this. So let me switch that. So let's connect these two. This and then right. So this will go in here. On top, like this. go on top like this. Looks good. Looks good. Let us tighten these up. Okay, let's start with the shunt. This is a longer bit because this cable needs to be the same as this cable in length. So we are connecting it from this one, so I gotta run it around. So I will do it like this, like that. Okay. Getting these connections here. Okay, so this one is gonna go like this. Just gonna go back in. Okay. It's getting quite dark really quickly. Let's push this back in. It is gonna go in the negative terminal on this side. Like. Okay. Let's put the last one in first because this is by itself. This last connection right here. Just want to make sure everything is still off. It is off. Okay, let's put it in. Let's just visually take a look at everything to make sure I'm not connecting anything wrong. So you got the negative here, from here to here to here, over to the link shunt, and then the positive from here, here, and here into the link shunt. Let me just make sure these connections are nice and tight. There's really not much that would happen after I turn this on because I don't have any lights connected. But all these devices will turn on, or at least most of them. These are disconnected right now because the breaker is off. But we can do one at a time. But the link shunt should turn on. The Servo GX should turn on. And I can even check out the Servo GX with the touchscreen to see if the readings there are accurate. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Green lights, blinking lights. Servo GX on. Yeah, these are still off. But we got power. I think the red lights means the fuses are not good, which is right because there's 3 terminals that are open right now, and these are the ones that are good. So these are working so far as expected. And it's getting darker and darker, but let's continue. I got my lamp light here, but let's check if the 12 volt is working. I don't have any fuses in the 12 volt, but I'm gonna add the fuses for the 2 fans and the lights. So let me find the right fuse first. How many amps do I need for those? Let me check. So the 2 amp fuses should be enough. So let me add the fuse in here and we will know if things are working. 1 in. Yes, I hear it. And number 2. Did that work? Okay, let's see. Let's see. We have lights. We have light. Our 12 volt is working. So it looks like we are good for now. More testing to be done for other stuff, but so far so good as expected. And yeah, not much I need to do for now until I hook up the rest of the stuff, the lighting and stuff. I mean, the USB is still kind of just hanging there, so I can just hook it up and it will turn on once I put the fuse in. And the refrigerator, I didn't even hook that up yet. And yeah, things are looking pretty good. And it's getting really dark, so I'm not going to test the touchscreen yet. Or actually, should I? Let's just plug it in. Let's see if it works. Okay. Let's see if that's working. I got an HDMI adapter here. Oh, I can't test it yet because I need USB power, which I can get from USB source like this one. Let's do it. I just want to test it out, just make sure it's working. So the thing with the touchscreen display is it's got a really long HDMI cable and a really short USB power cable. This was supposed to be plugged into the Servo GX, but if I were just to extend this USB cable all the way to the back here, and the voltage drop is just not going to supply enough power to power it. So I need an external source to power this. And the external source is going to be this power bank here for now, until I get this little USB set up. And then the HDMI end of it is going to get connected to this extender here, or plug that extends it, because I ran a really long USB cable or HDMI cable all the way to the front, to the back, to the Servo GX. But let's see if it works. Plug it in. Voila! And it is on. And this is going to display all of the activities for our charging and usage. And it looks like we're at 100%. I need to check the Victron. Actually, before I end this, let's try to turn on the inverter. Are you still recording? Yes, you are. Okay. This is the moment of truth. I mean, I still need to configure it, but I can actually turn this on because the batteries are connected to it. And once this turns on, I can test all the outlets. So this is like the big one right here, to make sure this is wired up correctly. I have all the outlets wired are in theory until it's actually tested is working. So let me get this out of the way. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Inverter charger on. It is on, which means the outlets have power. Well, they should have power. Let me see what the system is reading. Got the AC load. Let's see if I can plug something into these outlets here. I wonder if I did them correctly. I think I did. Okay, yeah, these don't have lights. So let's plug something into the power. What do we got? What do we got? Ryobi charger. Sure. Okay. I should probably use like a tester instead. But if this turns on, the light will be green. Let's see. Oh, I didn't turn the breaker on. Haha. Let's turn the breakers on, which is right here. Open. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I heard a beep. I heard a beep. Oh, the beep I think is from this thing right here. Power. Dishwasher. Ooh, our dishwasher is on. Look at that. Our dishwasher is on. Open. Open. Ooh. Ah. So that means we have power, but this is not powering on. So Maybe it's because I have to press this. Yes, now that is on. Green light. Green light. It looks like these are, but this GFCI is on, is green light. I think I have to press them in order from like the first one to the second one. So the second one is down here. Down here. Green lights. I'm so satisfied that we got the electricals all figured out. I mean, there's a lot more that we need to do to hook everything up, but it's just so cool to see the lights turn on and the inverter working, the outlets working, and all that stuff. And so it's getting really dark out now. It's almost time for dinner, so I'm gonna end the video here. If you guys are interested to check out the membership, go into our channel description and there's a tab there that says membership and you guys can see there. Any questions, just let us know. And so hopefully you guys enjoy watching this video. If you guys want to keep following our DIY Sprinter van build, hit that subscribe button so you get notified when the new videos come out. And if you enjoy watching this video, smash that like button so they can spread out to more people. We really appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye-bye. I was going to end the video, but let's check out what my mom made for dinner tonight. We got the classic beef and broccoli, some steamed eggs, and this is a special dish here. Rena requested this. This is fish mao with mushrooms. Yes, and then we got some
薯仔炆阿姑姐，
姑姐攞嘅呢個係咪？咖喱嚟㗎？
誒唔係咖喱，
咩醬嚟？
有啲馬拉味咁。
馬拉味。
啲豉油。
Pork ribs and potatoes, and then we got the pork knuckles from yesterday. All right, these are dinner. A lot of dishes. 好多餸啊今日。係啊。Okay. Okay，食飯。
食得。嗯。